Bracketology presented by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, breaking down the 2021 Texas High School Football Playoff brackets. I'm Greg Tepper, and this is 5A Division II. And you're probably thinking, oh, why do we even play, right? Alito's here. They're going to dominate. Allow me to argue for the field and tell you why it may not be fait accompli that the Bearcats win their 11th state championship, although they are the favorite to win it. Let's start up here in Region 1, where I will tell you that it does feel like we are careening towards yet another regional final between Wichita Falls Rider and Lubbock Cooper. They look like the favorites. They look like the two best teams in Region 1, and it would be a surprise if they didn't meet for a second time this year, and what I believe would be the 8th time in 4 years. They have just become so accustomed to one another. If there are teams that can get in their way, I think it could be a team like El Paso Andrus. Keep an eye on them. I also really like what Grapevine brings to the table. The offense is really starting to hum. That is a team certainly to keep an eye on. But for now, Lubbock Cooper and Wichita Falls Rider, they play low-scoring slugfests. I think we could be in for another one once we get to the regional final. Let's go on to Region 2, and this is where Alito lives. Right there they are, right top half of the bracket. But I also think this is the most dangerous Region 2 that they've had to navigate in quite some time. Just think about it. They could end up seeing a team like Frisco Liberty and quarterback Keldrick Luster in the second round of the playoffs. That's awful tough. Then in the third round of the playoffs, potentially they see South Oak Cliff or Frisco, or Royce City, who was undefeated until just recently. This is a really tasty first-round matchup. This whole part of the bracket is very dangerous. And by the way, whenever they get out of that, if they do, they would have to see a team potentially like Lovejoy, who of course lost their regular season finale. You don't like to see that, but make no mistake, this is a team that has been building towards wanting another piece of Alito. Can they get past what should be an interesting bottom half of the bracket? Remember, Ennis is undefeated as well, a team certainly worthy of your attention as well. And then I would look at a team maybe like Mesquite Poteet as a sleeper. Crandall's an interesting fourth place finisher. They can score. Not sure they can stop anybody, but they can score and could give Lovejoy a push in the first round. Let's now matriculate over to Region 3. And on Region 3, this is maybe the region that nobody's paying attention to. And maybe it's because we've just kind of assumed Thorpe and Marshall is going to win it. And look, they've been great. There's no reason to believe that they're not going to win Region 3. But remember, they didn't win Region 3 last year. That was these guys, Crosby, who may in fact be hitting their stride at the exact right time. Keep an eye on Jerry Prieto's Cougars. They're looking very good. A second round matchup for Fort Bend Marshall with A&M Consolidated would be very fun to keep an eye on. I think this bottom half game with Marshall and Brian Rudder is an interesting first round matchup. My sleeper here is up here, two of them. One of them is Texas High. I think this is a team that's flying under the radar. Maybe it's because they're often kind of far-flung northeast Texas, but Texas High has been fantastic. And unbeaten Montgomery, okay, the Bears are for real. They've been very good all season long. I think they're a team certainly to keep an eye on. So for me, it feels like there's a favorite with enough potholes that if they were to stumble, there are teams that are good enough to take advantage of it. Meanwhile, in Region 4, this is a little bit of who wants it, right? I mean, last year it was Liberty Hill who came out of there, and they're certainly going to be a team to keep an eye on, but I don't know if they're as explosive as they were last year, and that could open the door to teams like Bernie Champion. It could open the door to a team like Leander Rouse to come out of this top half of the bracket. Very intrigued to see how all this shakes out, because I think we're in for some really good second-round matchups. The bottom half of the bracket, may I introduce you to Alamo Heights? The Mules are undefeated and state-ranked, and they've been doing it with kind of old-school defense and running game. I think they're going to be able to continue that, potentially into the third or fourth round. Mission Veterans Memorial is back. The Patriots have certainly gotten their rhythm back after last year's disappointment. They could see Brenham in the second round, but Marble Falls is no team to trifle with either. Overall, I actually think there's some really nice balance to this region. And so what I think it could be interesting, you could have a favorite, like you could have a Liberty Hill, or you could have a Brenham come out here. But you could also have a party crasher. It wouldn't be a surprise to see Mission Veterans Memorial there. It would not be a surprise if you see Alamo Heights or Bernie Champion or any of those teams. It is that balance. And so when you take a look at this region as a whole, a lot of it's going to be focused on one team right there, right? The top half of Region 2 with Alito. And make no mistake, they are the favorite to win the 5A Division II state championship. But there are enough quality teams here in every region that you're going to have intrigue everywhere you look. It's going to be fun to watch, and we're going to have you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.